fourth grade. How are you? I hope everybody is well. Happy May Day. I'm sorry that we can't be together at church today and for the crowning of Mary in the Rose Garden. I'm just sad not to be able to see all of you, but I hope you're all doing well. Today I thought that we would go back over the portraits. Remember, we were learning how to do a portrait in school. So if you have your sketchbooks and you started the portrait there, that would be great. You could continue on with that. Or if you just want to start over, because I am going to go back from to the beginning, because number one, it'll be sort of a review, and then number two, we can move forward from there. So remember what I said back then was about faces. So faces can be all different shapes. Faces can be oval or round, kind of a square shape, or a heart shape, triangular shape. Everyone has their own unique shape of their face. We're going to do an oval just to do like what an average face is like. But as I said, whatever you have is the perfect face that God wanted you to have. And there's no right or wrong face shape, that's for sure. In fact, now that you are home and spending a lot of time with your families, it'd be fun to look at everybody's face shape and see if you all have similar ones, or maybe some of you are different from your siblings or your parents. But we're going to start with an oval shape, and you're going to put it not too close to the top of the page, because this is going to be the face and you're going to want to add hair afterwards, okay? So we're doing an oval. Really don't like doing it in markers, but I want you to be able to see it. You can probably see the pencil I have already there. But so just do an oval shape there on the top of your page. And then the next thing you did, now this is I'm going to do it in a dark pencil. I hate to do it in marker because it's so dark and permanent. You're going to divide the face down the middle, right? Can you see that in pencil? Remember, our faces are symmetrical. So we have an eye on each side of our face, and we have an ear on each side of our face, and then we have a half of a nose and a half of a mouth. So we want to think of our face being symmetrical and balanced, so we are going to divide it in half. And then you're going to remember how I said we're going to do horizontal lines. And when you do those lines, I make them a little bit curved, but what's important is that it divides it into three equal spaces, okay? So see if you can do that. And when you're doing it, you should do it very lightly. I'm doing it darkly so that you can see it in the video, but on your paper you should do it lightly because you're going to want to erase it afterwards, okay? So then the next thing we're going to work on are the eyes. And just for the sake of teaching you a basic style, we're going to use a football shape or a lemon shaped eye. Everybody's eyes are different. In fact, your own two eyes are different from each other. It's a fun thing to do is to look in the mirror and hide one of your eyes and really stare at your other eye, and then change it like this and see the other eye. And you will see that one eye is definitely larger than the other eye. Maybe very slightly, but maybe more pronounced. And that's another fun thing you can do at home, is to look at everybody's eyes in your family and see which eye is larger and which eye is smaller, and is it always the right eye that's larger, or how does it change from person to person? So we're going to, now this, I'm going to go back to the marker. We're going to do a kind of a football shape or a lemon shape on the eye, and then you're going to do the same on the other side, even though it's not going to be exactly the same. It's important to remember that there's room in the middle for a third eye, okay? So that's how you can kind of judge how much room. You don't want the eyes too close together or too far apart. Just maybe like room for one more eye there. So we're going to do two like football lemon shaped eyes, okay? The next part of the eye that we're going to do is the iris. And the iris is the colored part of your eye. And you know that differs. Some people brown, green, hazel, blue. Some people even have violet eyes. So that is the round part of your eye. Now, I'm going to do it in marker because I want you to see it. It's really important that you draw that very round because it is a very round shape. People tend to like squish it, make it look more like an oval, but it is round. So you want to fill up that space from the top to the bottom with the colored part of the eye, the iris, okay? Now you're going to be able to do a better job because you're using pencil, but the next thing I want you to do is the eyelid. So the eyelid covers a little bit of that iris. So it's a line that follows the shape of the top of the eye, and it's just a little bit below it, okay? But it's the same curve, okay? And it goes from one corner of the eye to the other corner of the eye. Now you're going to be able to erase that little bit of iris that is in there because you don't want to see that. When something is covering or over something, then you don't see what's underneath. So doing it in pencil, you'll be able to do that, okay? So mine, if you could see it really close, looks a little weird because you would not be able to see that iris that's hiding under the eyelid. But the reason why I have you do that is because I really want you to get in the habit of drawing a nice round iris. And when you look in the mirror and you look at the color of your eye, the colored part of your eye, you will see that it is indeed a round circle. And then you're going to draw a smaller circle in the middle, and that is the pupil. And the pupil is the really dark part, the center of your eye. Now another fun thing to do is to go someplace in your house, probably a bathroom, but make sure that that you can make it a really dark bathroom, and turn off the light and just stand there for a minute or so until your eyes adjust to how dark it is in there, and then turn the switch on and watch the pupils of your eyes, and they will constrict or get much smaller. So what's happening is when your eyes are in the dark, they will dilate or get larger. And I know if you've gone to the eye doctor, sometimes they put a drop in your eye that makes your eyes dilate, and that's so that he can see inside your eye more easily. So when you are in a dark room, your pupils dilate and get larger so that they can see better. They can take in, there's not much light in there, and they're taking in as much as they can so that they can see better. And then when the light comes on, they don't need to be that wide and open anymore, so they constrict and go down smaller. So anyway, it's just an interesting thing to learn about your pupils. And then I always put in the iris part near the pupil, I always put a little shape that's sort of a square, but it's a little bit rounded, or it can be like a crescent moon. And that just represents the little reflection that you have in your eye, because your eyes are shiny a little bit, and when the light shines on them, there's this like a little bit of spot of light on there, and that represents that. So you want to put just a little shape there on each side. It's hard to do with a marker because it's so thick, but that's just to represent that. It makes it look like it's round, not a flat eye, but it's round. Okay, so then the next thing we're going to do is the nose, okay? And the nose, a lot of times people will just draw like a triangle nose because they're drawing the bridge of the nose, but in actuality, because the nose sticks out from your face, the only real way that you can show that is by shading. So if you're just drawing and you're not shading, then the best thing to do for a nose is just to do the bottom of the nose. And the bottom of the nose is basically the curve, and then it goes up a little teeny bit where your nostril is, and it goes down a little bit where the bridge of your nose is, and it goes up again, and then it goes around where the curve. So I'm going to show you just a little bit of a line that represents the bottom of a nose. So it's rounded, and it goes up, and it goes down a little bit, and it goes up again, and it goes down, and then it curves. So all you're seeing is just that underneath part of the nose. And here again, they can be narrow or wide. The nostrils can be larger or smaller. It just depends. But we're just going to do that kind of a little bit of a line. And I hope you can see it. I know that I'm far away, but I hope that you can see that okay. And then the next thing we're going to work on is the mouth. And the mouth is a little bit higher up than halfway between the nose and the chin. Okay? So here's your nose and here's your chin. You don't want the mouth to start in the middle of that. You want to go just a teeny bit higher is where you're going to start it. And here with the mouth, we're not going to just draw a happy face, and we're not going to draw an opened mouth with teeth today. We're going to draw just the lips, okay? So it's important to think about how our lips are. And most people, the bottom lip is wider or a little bit fatter than the top lip. And the top lip is just going to be, again, a small line, a thin line that starts a little bit up, goes up to like maybe a mountain peak, down a little bit in the middle, another mountain peak, and down again. Now, the other important thing to realize about the mouths are generally, of course, we're all different, so you all have your own bella faccias, beautiful faces, but generally, the corner of the eye is underneath the pupil of each eye. Gives you an idea of about where the mouth should be, okay? So if you drop a line down from the pupil, it about goes to the corner of the eye on each side. And then that's the top of the top lip. Now you're going to make the bottom of the top lip, which basically is the same shape as the top, but it's a little bit spread out or squeezed out a little bit. So it doesn't have quite the same definition as the top one. But it still goes up a little bit, down a little bit, up a little bit, and down a little bit. And it makes sure that it attaches at the corners because our mouth is all attached, our lips are attached. So make sure that it goes to each corner, okay? And then the bottom of the lip is a little bit fatter or wider, okay? And it doesn't have as much shape, it's just kind of round. Sometimes it's a little bit flat underneath. But that again, you want to make sure that it starts from the corner and you bring it down just a little bit more than you would the other lip and make sure it attaches there. So then you've got two lips there, okay? Now the next thing we're going to do are the ears. And I know that I'm going kind of quickly. You can stop this video anytime you want to do your own drawings and then go back and get the instruction. But right now I want you to put your fingers on your eyebrows, and then I want you to move them to the side of your head, and I think that you're going to touch the top of your ears. And then I want you to do the same thing, put your finger below your nose, and move them to the side of your head, and pretty much you're going to touch the bottom of your ears. So that gives you an idea of where your ears should be and the size. So I realized we didn't do our eyebrows yet. So before we do the ears, let's do the eyebrows. Now, the eyebrows are kind of arc over your eyes. They're a little bit above your eye, not too far up. And they're also made of hair. So when you do eyebrows, you want to do them like you're sketching strands of hair. And I have them that way with my pencil drawing, and I don't know that I'll be able to do exactly the same with my marker. But the idea is that you want to just draw it like hair, okay? So it's not a solid colored in shape, but it's more of sketching. Pick up your pencil and move it and move it and move it and kind of fill in like that, okay? And there you have your eyebrows. So now you can figure out where your ears are going to go. And your ears are just a little bit of a curved shape on the side of your head. They do not have to be really large, but you want them to be able to show. So I'm just going to make like a little curve, and then it goes in a little bit, and then there's the earlobe. So it's generally about where the nose is and about where the eyebrows are. And that is about the size of your ear, okay? You can go back in later and fill in a little bit of detail if you want on the ear, because you have the creases in the ear and then the opening of the ear. And you can do a few little marks in there if you want. The next thing I'm going to do is the neck. Now, the neck is a part of your head, okay? It's not like stuck on separate, where your head's stuck on and your neck is stuck on. So, and it also curves a little bit. So you want to indicate that. It comes from your jaw line, okay? It comes kind of a little bit behind, back up here by your ear almost. So you're not going to draw it way up there, but I do want you not to just start it here, and you want to make it a curve, and you want to make it a curve, okay? And then you're going to move into shoulders. Now here's a common thing that most people do with shoulders. They end up making the shoulders just like right here, boom, boom, and boom, and there. But in reality, you could almost put another head on each of your shoulders, okay? So you need to make your shoulders come out further, much further out than where your head is, okay? So, and it's a continuation of a curve, okay? So it comes down from the neck, and then it curves, and then it can go down. And same with the other side. Curve for a while, and then go down. And your shoulders are round, so you don't want to have two straight lines here where it's like a ledge, okay? Like a straight line and a straight line. You want it to be curved. And nothing in our body is really perfectly straight. The bones, but once we have skin on, our bodies are more rounded shapes and more curved shapes, so that's what you want to indicate. And then, of course, you can, put on a collar however you want. Whoops. But putting on clothes is kind of a fun part to do, too. So I'm just going to do a little collar here. But you do, and then, of course, I'm doing in markers, so I have all these lines there that I really don't want to be there, but when you're doing it in pencil, you can erase the lines. So then add hair, that's the fun part, and add clothes and color it, especially the clothes. It's fun to make something colorful and fun with the clothes. And and just finish it up however you want. And if there's lines that you want to erase, which you probably will want to erase all those lines there, feel free to do all of that and then decorate it. You can add eyelashes and have fun with it. And then, as I said, I think it's a fun thing for you to do. You're home with your family. You could start drawing your family members' faces, and everybody will be a little bit different in their shape and their size. And the eyes, remember to look at people's eyes to find out which one is a little bit larger. And just explore our faces, our bella faccias, okay? So I really miss all of you. Please send me your pictures. I would love to see what you're doing, and I would just love to hear from you. So take care, stay healthy, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.